You can learn a lot about someone by looking at their room. My room this year is on the first floor of a house off campus, right by the front door. It's pretty spacious, but I don't have that many things to take up the space anyway. All I have is my bed, my bookshelf, a night table, a clothing rack, a desk, and a wardrobe. If you were to look around my room, there are a few things you might pick up about me. You'd see that I have a lot of books around my room. I have a pile of books underneath my lamp of ones that I'm currently reading, so they're right next to me when I'm in bed. I also have piles on my mantle of books that I've borrowed from friends or professors. Then there's my bookshelf, which I like to think is the best part of my room. The top shelf is filled with books that have educational purposes. Most of them are ones that I read in class, but some I bought myself because they're informational. The second shelf is split in two by an elephant bookend I got as a kid. On the left are memoirs and autobiographies of some of my favorite people, and on the right are all of my favorite books. The shelf below has 3 piles of books and a picture of me and the girl I tutored in high school. On the last shelf are a lot of the books we were required to read in high school, and then some of the books that I'm not as proud to display, like the trilogy of books starting with The Summer I Turned Pretty. My bookshelf says a lot about me, but if I were giving you the tour myself, I'd probably point out my favorite books to you. Books like More Happy Than Not, One Day, It's Kind of a Funny Story, and This Is Where I Leave You. I'd also point out the picture of me and my niece and show you the mug my sister got me one year for Christmas. You would see the other mugs I have on display on my bookshelf and probably figure I drink a lot of coffee or tea. I'd show you my favorite mug that sits on the top next to more piles of books that I have because the shelves are getting full. It's my favorite mostly because it's the biggest, but also because I got it when I went to Cuba last summer to study abroad. I also got a small canvas painting that sits on my mantle next to another picture of Sarah and I. And if you went and looked at our clothing rack, you would see a picture she gave me that basically sums up our relationship. I don't think there's a lot that my clothing rack tells about me. I don't have that many clothes and shoes, but I do love a good sweater or sweatshirt. You'd probably see my ukulele on the top of it, and my guitar case at the bottom, and figure that I'm at least somewhat musically inclined. There's even that finger piano on my mantle, which was another Christmas present. My desk isn't particularly telling either. I have school things in my laptop next to yet another pile of books. These, however, are books that my friends donated for my future classroom. Looking around my room, you'd probably assume that I love to read, but I'm not sure how clear it would be that I'm going to be a high school English teacher. That is until you look at my night table. I keep mostly journals and shoeboxes filled with random things on these shelves, but if you look through my stuff a bit, you could probably learn quite a bit about me. There's a Shutterfly book that my aunt gave me for my 16th birthday that chronicles my growing up. Then, on the bottom shelf, there's my teaching portfolio that I made my senior year of high school. I have stories from student teaching and essays about different teaching methods and techniques. On this smaller bookshelf, you'd even see my copy of Oh, the Places You'll Go, and you could read the advice that my 4th grade students gave me when I left for college. If you spent an afternoon in my room, you could learn a lot about me, but you'd have to make a lot of assumptions too, because even though I do love reading and playing instruments, I haven't read half of the books in my room, and I'm only in beginning guitar. And though I do have a lot of mugs, I don't ever use them because I'm too cheap to buy coffee. Also from this video, you might be forming your own judgments of me. You might think that I'm a pretty clean and organized person, but that's because I chose not to show you what my room looked like before I shot this. I chose to spend my morning cleaning up everything, making my bed, vacuuming and sweeping, and shoving everything else into random boxes in the corners of my room. There's a reason I didn't show you under my bed. I chose not to present my life how it really is most of the time, and instead presented it like this. So it's still true, you can definitely learn a lot about a person by looking at their room, but only if they let you.